نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. After Nabi Nuh, we have Nabi Hud being mentioned in the Quran, who came to the community of people known as Ad. Now Ad is speculated to be of the grandchildren of Nabi Nuh through his son Sam. Ad is a community of people that has 13 tribes, and they know that historically they have succeeded the people of Nabi Nuh. These were the people who believed in Allah, but alongside Allah they believed in many other deities. They were people of huge structures, almost giant-like when we look at their description within the Hadith. And the interesting thing is that when we look at the old scriptures, we find giant-like figures being mentioned in the olden scriptures. We are informed by those scriptures that there were certain angelic-like people who married earthly women and produced very huge statured individual humans. Now, of course, we do not subscribe to that from our literature, but that is in the previous scriptures. Nonetheless, our scriptures confirm that these people were very big in their physical beings. They were very sophisticated for their times. They carved out buildings from stone and made huge palaces and houses. They were very good at agriculture and they had very good irrigation systems. These people, due to the wealth and the abundance that they had and the strength that they had become very, very tyrannical and very oppressive. Nabi Hud, after the age of 40, was commissioned to go to them and to preach to them about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Nabi Nuh started preaching to them, he said, I talk to you about believing in God and abandoning your deities and gods. Now these people had no problem in believing in Allah alongside other deities and gods. The problem that they had was abandoning the gods that they worshipped besides God. The other problem that they had was that they did not believe in the hereafter. So they would ask Nabi Hud about his preaching, and when he would say to them that there is a day of Qiyamah where we shall be accountable, they would ask him, well, what is the need for the day of Qiyamah? And he said, at times evil does not go punished on this earth, and at times good does not go rewarded. And hence there is a need for there to be a day of Qiyamah. Nabi Hud constructed a very reasonable, rational argument for the belief in the day of Qiyamah. And in fact, when we look at our theology, we find our grand masters saying that it is sufficient to proclaim the belief in Allah and the Prophet Muhammad to be considered as a Muslim, to gesture that the belief in the day of Qiyamah is a rational belief. In fact, this is what Nabi Hud was saying to them, that if you believe in Allah and in the final day and in the accountability, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send for you abundance of rain. He will shower upon you mercifully, and He will perpetuate your existence and your lives and your dominance and domination. But these people chose not to believe in the Prophet. Now the problem that they had, looking at the scriptures and our own literature, is that not only did they not believe in Allah as the only God, they were very transgressive, oppressive people. And they were very, very arrogant. And we find this in two communities that were destroyed. The community of Ad and the community of Thamud. That both of them were extremely arrogant. They would take pride in their strength and in their lofty statures and in their physical beings. So when Nabi Hud went to them and he said to them that you remember the story of Nabi Nuh and how they were destroyed and how you succeeded them. The same God who destroyed them can destroy you. They would say, well, the people of Nuh worshipped gods who were not strong enough. We are strong and we worship gods who are strong enough, and who can save us from any eventuality and any punishment that is coming our way. Nabi Hud continued to preach to them. They assaulted Nabi Hud and they left him almost to die. Nabi Hud wished to give up his mission, but the Archangel Jibreel came to him and he said, Allah asks you to persevere. Nabi Hud complained about the physical injury sustained by him through their attacks. And Jibreel said to him that continue with your preaching and Allah will ensure that they will not be able to assault you physically again. Nabi Hud went and he preached to them yet again. And he said, I do not ask you of any reward. Will you then not understand that I have no gain in this? I simply convey the message of God to you. Come towards Allah. Turn away from your arrogant and tyrannical ways and oppressive ways. Now the chiefs of the community were very, very obstinate. They did not believe in Nabi Hud and they constructed the whole story that Nabi Hud is suffering from madness, and that because Nabi Hud had said bad things about their deities and their gods and their idols, that their idols had afflicted Nabi Hud with madness. Nabi Hud at that point he said, I indeed rely on Allah. Plan all your plannings and then spare me not. Come with all of your force. Indeed, my Lord is the one who holds the forelocks of every creature upon the face of the earth, and my God is on the right path. They mocked at Nabi Hud and they said, why do you not bring us the punishment that you promise? It was at this point that they began to encounter a drought. When the drought intensified, their crops began to dry up. They came to Nabi Hud and Nabi Hud said, this is a result of you denying belief in God and your arrogance and your obstinate attitude. If you believe in God, He will remove all of this and send rain to you. They once again denied Nabi Hud. The drought intensified. As it intensified, the leaves on the trees also dried and withered away. At this point, mockingly, they came to Nabi Hud and they said, well, why don't you bring the chastisement promised to us? Nabi Hud said, indeed it will come to you and you will see it soon. Soon they saw what appeared to them as dark clouds. They rejoiced. They said, these are the clouds that shall bring us rain from the heavens. Quran says, indeed, it is the punishment that you have been warned about. Nabi Hud said, this is a punishment coming your way, in the hope that these people would repent and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will avert this punishment. The Prophet of Islam is reported to have said that this wind that was coming their way arose from the depths of the earth. Allah describes it as rih sarsarin atiyah, that it was a screaming wind. And at other places, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes it as rih aqim, barren wind. In any case, the Prophet said that wind are of two types. They're either of mercy or either of chastisement. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may change the winds of chastisement into mercy, as was the case with the people of Yunus, that they repented and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala averted the punishment and converted the winds of chastisement into winds of mercy. The other interesting thing is that according to the narration, this wind comes from the depths of the earth and destroys everything in its path. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alludes to this, that He is the creator of the seven heavens and the seven earths. It could mean that the earth is layered into seven principal layers, as the heaven is layered in seven layers in the sense of the atmosphere above the earth. This is of course not denying the possibility that seven heavens could mean seven different dimensions of the universe, and seven earth could mean seven physical earths or earth-like planets elsewhere. The Quran gives different meanings to these words at different instances, so there are different points of references wherever the Quran quotes them. In any case, they rejoiced and they said that these are clouds that shall shower upon us rain. When these clouds came, Nabi Hud and the people who believed in him made their way out of the place where the community of Ad lived, and they lived somewhere near Yemen. These winds came upon them for 7 nights and 8 days, as the Quran says, and they destroyed everything in their path. Now, the way in which they destroyed was that the houses were reduced to dust, and people were thrown upon their heads, and their bodies became hollow. Their internals were thrown outside, and that is why it is called Rih Aqim, the barren wind, because it struck nothing but that it penetrated it and went through it and destroyed it. Nabi Hud then settled in another place with a group of his followers, and they continued with their lives until the time of Nabi Saleh. This is not to say that there were not other nations around, but this is at least the continuation of the lineage of Nabi Nuh to Ad and then to Thamud, as in the case of Nabi Saleh.